Okay. So in last class, we have seen that how we can upload a image using the AC78, right? And we have upload the image on the document server, and from there, with the help of this class, we got the image in XSTRING format, and then we have binded it with graphics node, and that graphics node we have used inside the Adobe form, and we were able to see that image when we executed that Adobe form. One very simple method also we have seen, just drag and drop this image object, right? And we have to give the path on the desktop or on local machine, and we have to tick this mark embed image data, and it started showing the image. Today we are going to show how we can upload using the custom table. This is little tricky and very important to understand, because many a times you will come across such requirement where you have to create your own table, that SE78 or the local image is not going to help you. In that case, we have to use this custom table. So let's discuss some scenario where we can use it. For example, suppose a big company is there, right? One big company, you have opened one big company, and you have multiple subsidiary company. So all this company is having the different logo. Okay, so here you have the logo 1, here you have the logo 2, and then you have the logo 3, and here you have the logo 3. So now you have already created one Adobe form, and you want to reuse that Adobe form where you can, you know, where you can display the logo in that Adobe form based on your company. Okay, so suppose this company is you have this company 1, and you have this company 2. Company 2 is having logo 2, right? And company 3 is having the logo 3. Okay, and you have already created for your main company, have already created a smart form, Adobe form for your main company. And the same Adobe form you want to use for the purpose of this company, and this company. So certainly their logo you are going to display for this, right? So a kind of dynamic logo display it's going to have. So for that purpose, what you have to do, you have to store the image in the custom table, right? And then we can display the image in the Adobe form, right? Another requirement what we can have, suppose you want to display a purchase order, you want to create a purchase order, and there when you want to display the list of material in front of all the material, let's suppose material 1 you have, so for this material you want to display the image, right? For material, suppose it's a suppose you have the fruit, let's suppose you want to display the fruit. So maybe instead of material I can give the fruit 1, fruit 2. So you have a fruit supplier company, right? You have a fruit supplier company, and when you are creating the purchase order, you are trying to display the image in the purchase order for multiple fruits listed over there. Okay, so here image 2, and like you have. So similarly for fruit 3. So how such kind of requirement we can achieve? So to achieve such kind of requirement, you have to store the image into table. Okay, and dynamically you can get the data, like you can fetch all the image from the table and you can display in the Adobe form. So let's go and do. We first have to create the table. So first step, first create the table. So we'll give some good name for the table. Z uh, image for fruit. Okay, so this is my table I'm going to create. Go here, go to SC11, and here I will give that table name. Click on this create button, and I'll give some description over here. Table for fruit image delivery class. Let's select the first one. Maintenance allowed. MANDT field. The data element will be also the MANDT. Now we have the second field, fruit ID. Fruit underscore ID. So give the fruit ID over here, and then int1 I'm going to use for the fruit ID, and here the fruit image I will store. So you should know that fruit image, the image, we should have a basic idea about the image, how the image gets stored in the system and all, right? So I have already one image over here, this banana we have. So when we store this banana, it does not store in form of image. It stores in form of binary format. It stores in the database in binary format, in the 0 and 1 format. Okay, but on the data dictionary level, the data type, it's going to store in the XML format with hexadecimal string. Okay, so XML format with hexadecimal string, generally we store with the data type raw string. Okay, so in a simple way, just let's understand that if we are going to create one table and if you want to store the image, you have to create one field which should store the image, and their data type should be raw string. So this is the inbuilt data type, so you have to use this predefined type over here. Okay, and you have to use it like this, or else if you want to use the data element, you have to find out the data element which is using this raw string. So let's go and check some data element if we can get some good data element. So press F4 over here, search for data element. This is the data type, inbuilt data type. This will give, and the inbuilt data type is the raw string. You can see byte string. Raw string is nothing but byte string. BLOB, binary large object. B stands for binary, L for large, OB means object, binary large object. I want to see some data element. So if you want, you can see there are so many data element using this one. So let us search if I can get some image kind of thing to store the image. Cancel search hit after image. I'm not able to get. So we can use anyone. There is no issue. We can use. I'm going to just use this POACLM X string. Here you can see the raw string. It's there. Field label. It's something below is fine. So it's okay. We can use this. So give this. Click on this data element. Give this data element, and now the raw string 0 BLOB is coming. Just save it. Local object. And some more interesting point I would like to say, share over here, that if you have a field with raw string format, you cannot use this as a key field. If you want to try to use this as a key field, it will give you the error. Okay, because this is the large object, right? How we will be able to use? So it will give you the error. You cannot use as a key field. Another thing, you cannot create the secondary index also on this field. Suppose if you want to go and create the secondary index for fruit underscore image field, right, which is of raw string data type, it will not allow. Okay, so this two important information. Now activate this one. Give the data class APPL0 and 0. Just save it. Go back and save and activate it. Got activated. It's activated. You can see now. Now we have to upload the image into this table. How to upload the image? For that, you know, we have to write a program. Directly we cannot upload the image. Okay, so image need to be converted into the hexadecimal format, hexadecimal string, and then we have to store it over there. So let's create Z uh, Adobe demo image upload. Click on this create button, image upload, executable program. Click on this save a local object. Okay, so to store the image, you know what you have to do here. I have written some steps. Okay, these are the important function module which we are supposed to use. We can use another also, but this is the object oriented approach. We can use some function module to open the file dialog, right, as we have done earlier in the ABAP classes. GUI upload, we can check if we can store the image or not, right? So using the function module also we can do, but here we are going to use the class method. Okay, so this particular method I will use to give a pop-up which will give us the path. Okay, so parameters I will use p underscore path type. I'll give the string over here, and this is my this is my class static method, right? This is my class static method. Copy this class. I want to get populate the signature, right? So click on this pattern, and or if you don't want to go like that, a simple way also we have, give this and control space, the file underscore open, shift enter, and you can see that it has populated the signature. Okay, file open dialog. There are so many, right? What we have, the important one, it's already enabled. So remove all these things is not required, and exceptions we can enable, as this is the good practice to enable the exception, so that if some error comes we can know. Is size of RC not equal to 0? I will write over here that while uploading while uploading we got some error. Okay, okay, so just save it. File underscore table, you can see it's a here we have to pass some value, right? And RC, so what kind of value we have to pass, that we have to identify. Double click over here, and file underscore table, you can see the type is file table and RC is type I. So let's go and declare file table and I. Remember this one. Okay, come over here and we will define the data type, data data, and file table first we have. So give lt underscore file underscore table, type file table it was, and then data LV underscore RC type I, right? The file table, if you go and check, it's a table type. You can see it's a table type. So what it will become? This will become internal table. So let's pass this one, copy this, and I'll pass it over here. LV underscore RC also will pass it. Now it's done. Check the syntax. So at this point of time, there is no problem. I will just modularize the code a bit so that, you know, so perform open dialog and double click over here. Click on this yes button. In the same program, I'm going to copy and paste the code. Good. So this is done. Now, once you receive the file path, where you will receive your file path, you will receive the file path over here, lt underscore file underscore table here. So you have to, so in case of success, that means else. In else part, read the table, read table. This is the table, index 1, and you require some work area to hold the data. So I'll use the new syntax, WA underscore table. Okay. Now this W underscore table will be having the path of the file. Double click over here, double click over here, file table, and let's see what is that file path. This is the file name, is the component. Go back, go back, and here now p underscore. This is the parameter which we are using, p underscore path, right? So in this p underscore path, we are going to give this file name component of this work area, right? So full stop, and now pretty printer, and check the syntax, activate this one, and it is go activated. Let's see, test whether it's working fine or not. Press F8, and here that F4 option is not coming, right? So how to get that F4 option? You know very well that we have to use the event at selection screen on value request for p underscore path. Okay, so the pretty printer, and check the syntax now, activate this one, run this, and this time it's coming because I have used that event. And you can see that file is getting opening, and I have already downloaded. These are the different images. Let's Adobe image I want to upload. Okay, but better why not to upload the fruit image, because this is table for fruit. So I will use this banana over here, and it got populated over here. Now I want to upload this image into that table. So the first step is done. Now the second step. So the first step, we have done it over here. To get the file path from where we have to upload the file, right? Second, what we are going to do, that we are going to, upload the image. So how to upload the image, right? So to upload the image, you have to use the another method. There I have shown you CL underscore GUI underscore frontend services underscore frontend services, and then GUI upload. This is the method we have to use. Copy this one, come over here, paste it, and remove this GUI upload. I want to get the signature populated. GUI upload. See here, download also you have. Okay, and now this is done. What are the important parameter we have to keep? That is tricky part, right? So again, it depends on the requirement. File name obviously we have to pass, and the file type This you'll have to remember. This ASC by default, it will come image file. Actually, if you want to upload into the table, you must have to store in the binary format. Okay, if you put into ASC format, you will come into trouble. Okay, you will be there in the trouble. It will not work. ASC stands for ASCII. Okay, BIN stands for binary. So image does not get stored in the ASCII format. It gets stored into the binary format. Okay, so for that purpose, you must have to give the binary. Very important. Okay, now remove other fields is not required. Under the importing parameter, you may require file length, but I don't think so. At this point of time, it is required. So it's already commented. That's fine. Let it get commented. Header, not at all required in my case. Data underscore tab. This is the place where I'm going to pass my data. Okay. So LT underscore data, right? So this, what is this data actually? Once you upload your file, once you upload your file, so you will give the file name over here. Just give the file name. So p underscore path will contain the file name, correct? So give the p underscore path as a file name. But let us see if the data type is matching or not. Double click over here. This data type is type string. So good, this is good. Type string also we have defined over here, so it's going to work fine. Binary we have given, and lt underscore data, this we need to define. Lt underscore data. Okay, data underscore tab. Type is standard table. There is no type, it's given over here. It's a generic. Okay, so this point also you'll have to remember that this lt underscore data should be of type table of x20 to 55. Okay, so data lt underscore data type table of x to 55. Okay, or else at this point of time, this changing also I'm going to uh, remove. Okay, no, I cannot remove it. This is required because this is the table which will store the content of the file into the binary format. Okay, and the data type is x255. This also I have written in the notes. So here in the notes I have written somewhere 255. Okay, yeah, here actually, see here I have written for the reference. So it's there in the PPT. LT underscore data type is standard table of 255. We have to use it. This is important. So I have given this LT underscore data, the this part and all the exception we can enable, right? Enabled exception. This is not required. Now come over here. The file length. This is not required. However, let's skip at this point of time. It is required. We will use and enable this exception, enable this message. Okay, so that will get the message. Or if everything is going to be successful, that means what this will do, this file upload, this GUI upload, what it will do, it will upload directly in the custom table. No, it will upload into the current session of the program into this internal table. That's it. From this internal table, we have to read the data and we have to put the data into the where we have to put the data into the uh, uh, again one table we have to use. Let's go, then it will be more clear. uh, Second step, I will just give the perform upload upload file in program in session in current session. Okay, in the current program session. So double click over here, click on this yes button, yes, and I'll cut from here all this code what I have written it. Control X and Control V. So now it's fine. Check the syntax. Syntax is fine. Pretty printer, and this is okay. Now, if everything is going to be successful, okay, if everything is going to be successful, you are going to get the data over here in LT underscore data, right? From here, you have to read the data and you have to put into the custom table, okay? But directly you will not be able to put into the custom table. What you have to do for that purpose? For that purpose, what you have to do that you have to convert this data into the uh, XSTRING format, because currently it will be there in the bandy format. I will show you. Activate it and let's put the breakpoint over here. This perform should be here actually. Okay, Control V, and this perform will write under start of selection. Okay, Pretty Printer, check the syntax, activate this one, activate press F8. Give the path and run this one, allow it. It didn't trigger that. Put the breakpoint over here, press F8, give this path, run this, and this time it got triggered. Press F5 and GUI upload, press F6, and let's absorb the data, how we are going to get the data. LT underscore data 27, you can see that in 27 in form of internal table, it's coming over here, right? X255. X means hexadecimal, 255 means it will store in 255, 255, 255 like that. It's a storing. You would like to combine it together into one, variable, and then only you will be able to put into the table, because all together you will not be able to put into that raw string. So for that purpose, what we have to do, that we have to use a function module, right? So here perform convert uh, binary to binary to x string. So this function module, I have written it over here. Okay, you can see function module scms binary to x string. This function module we require to convert the file which we have uploaded in the current session of the program into X string, so that instead of multiple line, it will come into one line. Double click over here, go into yes, and okay, and this go to pattern, control V and press enter. So the input length, okay, so input length we require over here because we have to pass it, right? And the binary underscore tab, what we are going to pass, that particular value which we have already got. So what we have got, LT underscore data, right? Put it over here, LT underscore data, and the input length we have to enable over here. The file length lv underscore file length. Data type, let's check what should be the data type. File type, header length, file length. I'm looking for file length type I. Okay, so let's give the type I lv underscore file length. I will give this as a global variable, so I can access in that subroutine also. So come and give type I gv underscore file length. Copy this one, and this value I will pass it over here also. Okay, while converting, let's see now whether it's converting or not into the X string, right? From the hexadecimal to X string, I'm converting. Activate this one, activate this one, and put the breakpoint, press F8. So now run this F8. It didn't stop over there, no problem. Let me do, okay, so when you will press F8, then only it will, you know, come over here, right? So under the startup selection, because I have written this code. Okay, so press F6. In IT underscore data, we got the data. In LT underscore data, we got the data. 27 records we are having. Press F6, and now convert bandit to X string. LT underscore data we are passing over here. GB file length we are passing 6739. The total, you know, the character length is this much, 6739. Okay, if you want to see a little more detail how you can see that, you know, you can come over here and see here you have the different option, right? Here also, if you go and check, uh, say 255, 255, and if we're going to multiply with 227, I don't know how much this bigger length is there over here, and if you'll add it all together, it should come 67339. Okay, that can be checked. Now press F6, fine, and hopefully now it got converted. But where it got converted, right? Where it got converted. GB underscore file length I'm passing over here, and then the LT underscore data we are passing, but we are not importing. Once it will get converted, we have to import this buffer and the converted data into single row we will get. So let's do that one. We just missed this step. Enable this importing buffer, double click over here and check for the buffer, exporting reference buffer type X string, right? So this is a variable which we have to use it over here in order to store the data. So I'm going to create a one variable over here, data gv converted, okay, type X string, and gv converted I will use it over here, gv converted. Pretty printers, save it, check it, activate it, press F8, and now run this one. Okay, put the breakpoint once again, press F8, give this, press F8, and this time it has come over here. F6, and here also it's coming, F6 and F5. Give the F6 and let us see. So here you can see that in single line it got converted. Here how many, 27 records, and it got now converted into the single field, and because it is now in the single field, we can store in the table into that raw string field, right? So now that part we will do. Okay, so let's go and do that part. Now in the next step, what I will do that, perform uh, insert the data into table, okay, or update, insert image into table, image into table. So the table which we have created there, we are going to now insert the image. Okay. So we'll have to use the OpenSQL, right? So I'll use the modify statement. So what is that? Modify. What's the table name we have created? SC11 and JD image for fruit. This is my table name from, and obviously we have to create one work area, WA underscore fruit type control V. So declare this data object, declare this variable, and in this variable what you would require to pass WA underscore fruit hyphen control space, the fruit ID we have to pass. Fruit ID, we can get it from the selection screen. Okay. So here parameters p underscore fruit FRID type and int one. Okay. So p underscore FRID, this I will pass it into this work area, and then I will pass this fruit hyphen control space this fruit image. What data I will have to pass? I have to pass the data I have converted now, gv underscore converted in a single field, right? So this data I will pass. Full stop and modify this table from this work area. Simple open SQL. So now this is how we are supposed to put the data into table. Let's check the syntax and see if it's working fine or not. Okay. If size sub rc, if size sub rc equals to 0, in that case, I will give the message that image uploaded successfully. Okay, image uploaded successfully. Enjoy. So this is the message just I want to give it in form of information message. Okay, in form of information message. Control F2, Control F3, press enter. Today's system is working so nice. It's very good. And now just run it and let us see the fruit ID I'm giving over here one, and here the image banana. Okay. Currently, if you go and check in that table, there should not be any entry. Okay. Activate number of entry 0, right? Now come over here and run this. It's telling me remember my decision. I want to image uploaded successfully. Enjoy, right? It got successfully uploaded. One record is now over here. Run this and the data is coming like that. Where the image, why the image is not appearing? Because the width is 250 only, and for the image it's going to be a larger, right? So I'm giving the maximum value and press enter. Here you have in the you know XSTRING format, in the RAWSTRING format, you have the data over here, right? So double click over here and this is your image appearing over here, right? Here itself, suppose if you want like what kind of image is here, what you can do that, some tips and tricks you can use. If you have suppose multiple, you have some table for image and you want to see like what is that image basically, because that format will not be able to understand, right? Whether this is banana or apple or what, right? So if you want to see without help of any program, that is also possible in the debugging mode. What you can do actually, this particular conversion gets done in the program. What is that program? So that program is nothing but you can go and check, which is responsible, means from where the data is coming and getting stored. So this is the program. Copy this program, or you can just double click on this program, and this is my table. You can see that after DB we have the Z image fruit. So copy this Z image fruit over here and search from here and write select a star from this. Okay, or directly search for this, but I'm looking for select a star from this because it's going to upload the image from that table, right? Now into that table. Now here just put the breakpoint, one breakpoint here, and maybe you can put the breakpoint over here also, and here also you can put the breakpoint. So now this select single, I'm not interested in select single, select a star I'm interested in. So I put all the three places wherever select a star from this image table is there I put the breakpoint. And now what you can do that /h, okay, and select this one and click on this display. Press F8, nothing is happening, no problem. Go here and run from here. Okay, so fine. Here it's getting stopped. And now press F6. When you press F6, what happens? The table, the content got filled over here, right? This is the content. And now if you want to see what is that image, you can double click over there and you can open into the HTML browser. You can see it's the banana is stored over here. So if you want to see in the table what image, whether my image has been properly stored or not, so this technique maybe you can use. All the image actually basically they get stored in the XML format over there when we use the raw string. So if you click over here, it should display in XML format. It's not coming. Maybe from here we can download this XML file and let us see. Allow this, and where is that XML? So let me do one thing once again. I'll have to do. I forgot where it has stored. So on the desktop, um, so it's there actually, on the desktop. Right click over here and edit and see here. This is how the store in the XML format it has been stored. Okay, in the XML format, how the image is getting stored, right? Fine, good. Cancel this one and press F8. It will display in detail. That's fine. I don't want to see that one. It's taking some time. Stop this transaction. So the second step, now we are done with the image upload. Now what we want, this was the important step. The image upload was the important step. Now in the third step, what we will do that we'll create a Adobe form and there we will display the image. So /n sc /n sfp and come over here and we are going to create one Adobe form Z Adobe image using custom table table. Click on this create button and here, sorry, using custom table image upload interface, we can use maybe existing one itself, or this I'm going to use local object, and here inside the context go into the properties and we will go to the interface ones, and here actually that image from there, if we get it, it's going to have into the which format, it's going to have into the RAWSTRING format, right? So we have to store, let me show you first over there, save it, activate it, and what we have to do, we have to select the image from that table, right? And we have to populate. Okay, so or maybe we can use the same program. Go here and I will use the same program, AC38, same program for calling the, it will be lengthy then. Uh, I will create one another program, a driver program, which will display the Adobe form. Okay. So Z Adobe driver to driver to display image. Click on this create button and here we'll give some title, display image, and type is executable program. Click on the save local object, and now we are going to select what we have to select. We have to select the image, fruit underscore image from Z. What is that table name? Z fruit, something like it was. Let me go and check that one. Slash so S11 Z image fruit. Give this control V into one table. I would require to store this image, or one work area or variable I would require. What kind of that work area or variable it should be, right? What kind of that work area or variable it should be? It should be of a XSTRING type, right? So give over here and data LV underscore image type X string. Okay, the hexadecimal string. So you might be thinking that, here I have used the raw string and there I am using the hexadecimal string. How it will be compatible? It will be compatible. Why? The reason behind, in data dictionary, this is raw string, but in the ABAP program, the same thing becomes the X string. That means that means that means raw string of data dictionary is equal to X string of ABAP program. Both is same. Okay. Here you cannot use raw string actually. If you try to use raw string, let's control F2, you can see that raw string is unknown. So similar to, corresponding to, equivalent to this raw string, we have the X string. Control F2, and here you can see now for this we are not getting the error. Here we are getting because a statement is not complete. Okay, so LV underscore image, and now check the syntax over here. What's the problem? Select must be and select. Okay, single I will just use. Select single fruit image from this into this, where id fruit underscore id is equal to p underscore id. Okay, so the fruit id I will take it as a parameters p underscore id type int 1. Okay, now this is fine. Check the syntax now. This is fine, no problem. And now what I will do, go to the interface where we have, here we have, go into the change mode and add one extra parameter for image, image type X string. Okay, just save it. So X string I would require over here in order to, bind this one. Now go back, go to the context, and from the import, I'm going to, you know, put this over here, arm underscore image. I will drag and drop over here, right click, create over here, and one graphics. Now remember the previous class, how I have done in the same way, I'm going to do it over here now. Okay, so only the data getting part is different. Now the remaining part is going to be same. So graphics node I have created. Here I will select the graphics content, press enter. Once you will press enter, here you will get some extra option. what is the field? Field is im underscore image. So give the im underscore image over here, and the mime type is what? It's a image hyphen, bmp. Okay, so just I have given this mime type. Okay, image hyphen. So this in some like in the previous version directly, if you give the bmp, it will accept. Okay, but in the current version, you can see that it's telling that it must be started with you know slash imge hyphen bmp. Okay, so this system, it's expecting to give in format of image slash bap. So I'm just giving this one. Go to this layout, and now we will do the binding with the image field. Okay, so I'm just clicked on this layout. It's taking some time, but it will soon appear, and then we will take one image field and we will bind with this. So it got open now, and then take the image field, drag and drop from here. Okay, or suppose if you don't want to do this, very easy, go to the data view. Already graphics we are having, directly drag from left and put it over here. In this case, you don't have to perform the binding and all, automatically binding will be coming, right? So that is the benefit if you are going to drag and drop from the left hand side. If you are going to take from here and if you are going to put it over here, in that case, explicitly, as we have done in our last class, you have to perform the binding. Okay, so this is my image which I want to display. Save it and check the syntax. No problem, warning it is there, we can ignore the warning. Some error is there, let us see what is this error. The system is trying to retrieve the environment variable app data. Do you want to allow this? Yes, I want to allow this. Allow. So some error is there. I just want to see what kind of error it's. It got transferred. Go to the context. Check the syntax. When I'm trying to check the syntax, there is no error. But why here error is coming? SAPF. Have we activated the interface? Let me see if I have activated the interface. Interface need to be activated. Oh, it's inactive actually. That's the issue. Go back and now save it and now try to activate. It will be activated. Okay, it got activated. Good. Now come here, and in this program, I will I will call this function module. Okay, so I'm going to call this function module. Okay, this is the function module. Control Y, and because it's a Adobe form, the way we are going to display it's going to be a little different. Okay, so lv underscore image, just pass it over here and enable the exception. So if some error comes, I will come to know, right? And one more function module you have to call fp underscore job open, right? The output parameters we have to declare. I'll just check its type. Type is this one. Copy this, go back and give the type over here, data lv underscore params type, control V, and pass this one. Now it's fine. Enable this exception. Job open is okay. This function and another function fp job close, the last one. I'm going to use it, and that's it. Just save it here. Also, if you want, you can enable this exception. Other thing is not required. Save it, activate it. Okay, now run this one, and the image one I want to display. Okay, so let's go and check what is the ID. press F8, the fruit ID is a 1, right? And the fruit image I want to display in the Adobe form 9 for this fruit ID 1. Okay, so I'll give the 1 over here, and I will try to, you know, uh, get the image in LP01. Let us see if we can get the image. So here you can see that we are able to get the image banana, right? This text we can change by going into the Adobe form. This is how, using the custom table, we can display the image. Very important in many of the project, you will be looking into this. Uh, okay, and they follow this approach, very popular approach, very important to understand. Okay, so with this, we'll stop our session over here. Okay. And now, if you have any question, feel free to ask.